What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is expected to send a high-level delegation to the Vatican after the death of Pope Francis following weeks of illness. Ahead of his funeral on Saturday, tributes are pouring in for the pontiff from around the world, including here in Taipei. Louis Watt reports.
The late Pope Francis mourned around the world and here in Taiwan by the country's Catholic community. They've come together to commemorate Francis, a church reformer who died of a stroke aged 88. His followers have been holding mass and praying together, offering each other comfort.
有的真的是很悲痛啊，因为他们真的很爱这个教宗啊。那有些当然也在信仰上面，我们常说的死亡不是一个停止，而是一个生命的转变。所以我们怀着这个信德，我们相信教宗与我们在一起。
Taiwan is home to around 300,000 Catholics, and the Vatican holds diplomatic importance here too. It's the only state in Europe to recognize Taiwan as a country rather than China.
赖总统已在第一时间指示我国驻教廷大使馆转至总统宴殿，并宣布总统府与行政院降半旗2天，以表达我国政府与人民哀悼之意。
The Foreign Ministry says it will send representatives to the Pope's funeral, but hasn't yet said who. Top Taiwanese officials are expected to come here to the Archdiocese in central Taipei to pay their respects. Taiwan is keen not just to honour the late Pope, but to maintain relations with the Vatican, one of its 12 remaining allies. Those ties go back more than 70 years and have survived closer exchanges between the Vatican and Beijing in recent years. Vatican observers say that even with a new Pope, the Holy See is unlikely to break ties with Taiwan.
Despite we will have a new Pope from Europe, from Italy, or from Africa, or from Asia, we can expect that the Church will follow its institutional decisions to maintain the relationship with Taiwan, and also under these circumstances to strengthen their relationship or to build out their new relationship with China.
For the mourners here, it's a time of quiet reflection to mark the passing of a spiritual leader who led the Catholic Church for 12 years, earning admiration for his commitment to the poor and marginalized. Patrick Chen, Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's two biggest opposition parties met on Tuesday morning in what they've billed as a summit to bring democracy back to Taiwan. The focus of the meeting, how Taiwan should deal with the looming threat of U.S. tariffs. Leslie Liao has more.
Taiwan is facing a crisis. That's the message from opposition party leaders. Kuomintang Chair Eric Zhu and Taiwan People's Party Chair Huang Guochang met on Tuesday morning to discuss how their parties plan to deal with what they say is imminent trouble. The KMT and TPP hold a slight majority over the ruling Democratic Progressive Party in the country's legislature. The DPP and the KMT are locked in a mass recall battle to remove each other's lawmakers for control of Taiwan's chamber. The opposition leaders say the DPP is more interested in increasing its political power than in dealing with U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs of 32%, which have been paused for 90 days.
台湾不会因为某些人跟某些政党的固步自封而停下脚步，这个世界更不会因为台湾而停下脚步。
At the meeting, Eric Zhu proposed several policies, from tariff response measures
我们必须要提高，要大幅的提高这一次的特别预算的金额。
to alleviating Taiwan's tourism woes.
至少我们应该开放国际，1个月免签，大幅度的让国际观光客来到台湾。
Meanwhile, the TPP's Huang is proposing a platform where opposition leaders can come together to exchange ideas and expertise on how to deal with impending challenges.
结合地方县市首长，结合产业界的代表，结合劳工的代表，结合重要的学者专家，我们共同开拓一个平台，让这些声音都可以进来。
Huang also called for Taiwan's ongoing trade negotiations with the U.S. to include pushing for a free trade agreement, something sought by past administrations, both KMT and DPP. The Democratic Progressive Party says it's open to the opposition's ideas and welcomes collaboration, but it also pushed back against accusations that President Lai Ching-te is not taking Trump's tariffs seriously.
4月5号开始，包含赖清德总统。 包含卓荣泰院长就马不停蹄地展开产业倾听之旅，和台湾经济界、产业界紧密地站在一起。
The DPP threw the ball back into the opposition's court, saying that it can help with Taiwan's tariff relief by approving a subsidy for Taipower, the state electricity provider, a proposal previously slapped down by KMT and TPP lawmakers.
最直接、最快的方式，就是请在立法院让 政府拨补台电的预算得以通过，让我们的电价不用涨，这就是对产业最直接的帮助。
While all three parties agree that the country needs to deal with the U.S.'s tariff policy, each seem to have different ideas about what that approach should be. And while the tariff threat continues to loom, so too does the rift between Taiwan's opposition and ruling parties. John Su, Ryan Wu, and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Several members of the KMT, including Chair Eric Zhu, are to be summoned for questioning by the police on suspicion of organizing a recent illegal protest outside the Taipei District Prosecutor's Office.
那所提列的名单大概就是主谋首谋者包括朱立伦主席谢龙介委员，还有他们的发言人杨志运。
Zhu last week rallied supporters to gather outside the office to protest against investigations of several local party leaders for allegedly forging signatures on recall petitions. Police say protesters pulled down barricades outside the office, a restricted area, and ignored police instructions to disperse. The Interior Minister had called on Taipei police to investigate the illegal assembly, a move the KMT says is politically motivated.
尊重检调的侦办。 但是严肃地警告政治势力、政治黑手，不要介入司法。
The three KMT members are scheduled to appear for questioning on April 28th. Taiwan is not traditionally considered a space power, but the country is making new headway in the international space race with a collaborative mission that's said to be a milestone not just for Taiwan, but for the whole Asia-Pacific region. Joyce Sen gets an exclusive look.
Humanity has always looked to the stars and sought new ways to learn more about them. That's precisely the goal of this team at Taiwan's National Space Agency, TASA, study the stars as part of a milestone rideshare flight under a subsidiary of British defense firm BAE Systems, a mission codenamed Faraday Dragon. Frank Lowe says it's a unique opportunity for Taiwan. He supervises TASA's Global Cooperation Office, and he says that the mission scheduled to launch next year is much more than just a partnership between Taiwan and the UK.
It hosts roughly about 16 payloads from various institutes and different countries. It actually provides a good platform for TASA, through this platform, to cooperate and collaborate and to have the dialogue with other stakeholders in the Pavilion program.
The satellite, designed by In-Space Missions, is set to carry a host of devices made by Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines, and Singapore. It comes as BAE Systems looks to carve out a bigger stake in a booming commercial space sector, looking to take on frontrunners like SpaceX. Taiwan is still working on building up its own rocket launch capabilities. So for now, ride-sharing is the main way to send its devices into space and rack up their flight heritage, a sort of mileage count to prove that its devices work up there and work reliably. For this mission, TASA has selected its Star Tracker. Stars are a key navigational tool for spacecraft, and the tracker's job is to locate and identify stars so the satellite knows where it is and where it needs to go. Not an easy feat in the pitch blackness of space.
To test to see whether the tracker works, the engineers can run what's called a stimulation. Now, this dark screen is not off. It's a model of what the tracker actually sees in space. Now, to the naked eye, you can barely see the specks of white that are the stars. But if you look at this screen, the tracker is not only spotting the stars that are there, but identifying them down to the ID number.
Perfecting homegrown devices like the Star Tracker is key to Taiwan's wider goal of putting more domestically made components and satellites into space. Lo says the Faraday Dragon mission is a possible turning point for TASA and how it plans future flights of its flagship Formosat program, a series of satellite launches that started in the late 90s, which have achieved various goals like remote sensing and weather observation.
We already carry out and working on our own ride-sharing project. By 2031, actually, we will launch the so-called Formosat 8 and Formosat 9. We already reserve certain space and mass that could accommodate other parties' payload.
Through learning from countries with more advanced space programs, Taiwan is vying to provide its own opportunities for other emerging players to hitch a ride on a Taiwanese satellite to the depths of space and jointly learn more about what lies beyond our Earth. Scott Huang, Howard Zhang, and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
An asteroid has been named after acclaimed Taiwanese artist and 228 incident victim Chen Chengpo.
陈先生，陈诚博是我们第一个提出来的呀，当然，因为他属于我们的台湾那个近代油画里头一个很先驱者呀，就做很多贡献。
The asteroid was first discovered in 2007 by two astronomers at Taiwan's National Central University and the U.S.'s University of Maryland. They chose to name it after Chen Chengpo in honor of his artistic achievements. Chen was executed for his involvement in an anti-government uprising in Taiwan in 1947. The International Astronomical Union finally approved the name in January. An exhibition about the asteroid has been set up at the National Taiwan Museum, which will run until May 11th. Taiwan's Tech World Pavilion at Expo 2025 in Osaka is officially open.
3, 2, 1, どうぞ!
Managed by Tamayama Digital Tech, a Taiwanese company based in Japan, the pavilion is showcasing the country's technological and digital prowess through 3 immersive theaters.
我们的展演分为生命、自然跟未来3个剧场，希望透过3个剧场阐述人与人共好，人与自然共好，社会与社会共好。因为我们相信，只有世界共好，人类的未来生活才能更好。
Around 40,000 people have already visited the pavilion since Expo 2025 began last week. Now, thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow us on social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we head to Spain to take a look inside the world's oldest restaurant as it celebrates 300 years in business. I'm Yvonne Yang. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
I'm Tiffany Wong in Georgetown, Penang, and you're watching TaiwanPlus.